Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Standard Humans Podcast.
Hello. I'm still here.
Oh, no way. Really? I thought you quit. Got a special episode today, partly because we assigned homework last time, and partly because we're not in the same place now. We're not recording this together.
Depending on the quality of these different mics, you may or may not be able to tell. Who's to say?
There's also the quality of the internet connection that we both have. I'm hoping that they both hold up.
Mine's like 6 out of 10. It's pretty good.
Mine goes from 0 to 6 out of 10. It kind of fades back and forth. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Mine's perfectly fine if you have less than 5 people on it. But the moment you have 5 people, it just works for nobody.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I'm just actually getting a speed of between 2 and 3 megabytes per second right now, so
I'll check mine.
Hopefully it holds up and doesn't go below like 1 like it sometimes does.
Mine's running at 95 megabits per second.
Holy shit. Okay. What a flex. All right. That's nice. That is very nice.
Oh, no, sorry, 81. Okay. No,
81.
No, it's 81.
Still incredible.
Yeah, I'm not trying to flex on everyone here, but
I really don't enjoy not having access to the router, but oh well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
that is unfortunate.
I live in a basement apartment, and I just use my landlord's Wi-Fi, so it's up on like the 3rd floor, and we can only like just get access to it at like certain ends of the house.
Oh no!
Like there's one end that's just an internet dead zone, so that's fun.
Hopefully it's not the toilet area.
No, it's not actually. That's it.
Okay,
that area's
good.
Fine. Yeah.
Not having access to internet on the toilet would be just no go.
Yeah, that's about one of the most uncivilized things I've ever heard.
What, me or not having internet when you're taking a poop?
To be honest, both. Just you, the constant stream of consciousness from you, and not having internet they're kind of equal. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty
very
cool.
Uncivilized.
But anyway.
So,
next subject.
Yes, on to the content. So, to recap for everyone, just really quickly, at the end of the last episode, we set some homework, and that was to create a bucket list with a top 5 things that you want to do by the end of your life, such that if you look back at the end of your life, you can feel like you accomplished something. Like it was a good life worth living. How did you find doing that? Was that something that came relatively easy?
Like I found it pretty easy, to be honest. I've got 6 things.
Okay.
That I don't know if you have more or less, but it's just sort of like because it wasn't anything new. Like all these things I've thought of before. Like these are all things that I've been like, man, I want to do that sometime. So I just took all those things and added them together.
Okay.
So it was pretty easy because it wasn't like make up new stuff. It was just what is usually on your mind in a given day that you're like, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's kind of a lot of the stuff I ended up with. But I went through a little bit of mental gymnastics to try and get there. Just because I was like, man, this is really crazy. If I only had 5 top things, what would it be? Everything. It's kind of hard to go through because I find that usually when people talk about bucket lists, it's a lot of just like I want to travel to this place and do this things just because they generally kind of sound cool. But then I made the challenge a little bit more almost meaningful than that. It's like, oh shit, now I have to actually think about this. So
yeah, most of mine are travel, but not all.
Okay, I do have one
not
traveling one. But all of mine are a little bit different than the others, yeah. So the way I kind of went about it was I decided to start with a question that was both a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more vague, which is like, how do I want to be? So, because I couldn't decide. There's so many different things that if I just created a list of things that I wanted to do just in itself, I feel like I could switch out most of things. And it wouldn't really change, or like you wouldn't really lose much, you know?
Yeah.
Like travel to this place, I could just replace it with another place and it'd be fine. So I started with that question, and I came up with a couple things. Like, I want to be relatively relaxed or content, relatively creatively fulfilled or engaged with what I'm doing, and then kind of athletic or in decent health. I figure if I can get those things, that would be a decent person.
I hope you're already in decent health.
Yeah, relatively good, but
Yeah. I mean, I can't see. Maybe you have no arms or legs, but for all I can see, that might be true. Might have been a rough week.
Yeah, that's my goal in trying to be athletic, is to grow back my limbs.
Nice. I mean, same, to be honest. All you can see is my left arm. So
that's fair. Yeah, I can't tell if you have legs or not. You might be like some kind of PewDiePie up in here without legs.
Nice. You got me.
So yeah, I kind of started with those goals, and then chose 5 goals or activities or whatnot that I think would add up together to fulfill those categories pretty well, or those qualities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that was kind of my thing.
Mine are mostly that I didn't quite perceive it that way. I perceived it as like things to do, because for instance, like fitness and fulfillment and stuff didn't really I didn't think of that, because I think of like a bucket list as like something you can like check off.
Yeah.
So I don't like, you won't like wake up one day and be like, I am fit. I am now fit.
Yeah. No, I actually did make a list of like actual goals.
That makes sense. Yeah. If I want to run this fast, I want to lift this much or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I didn't think of that, but that would probably be interesting. Probably I also didn't think of that because I think most of these I'm going to do when I'm a bit older. So like,
okay.
I'll probably be past my athletic prime then anyway, because I'll need to have money.
Oh, interesting.
For the most part.
Yeah,
or at least, well, not that much money, but at least a little bit.
Well, I mean, you can still be in
and not for all
shape
of them. But
once you have money.
I mean, some people are definitely in their prime in like later in life.
Like Keanu Reeves is in his like 50s, right?
Well, he's immortal. Doesn't count.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
He's just a celestial being.
That explains so much. So shall we go
through
the list?
Sure. Let's talk about sort of travel-y stuff first.
Okay. All right.
Maybe like 1 or 2 locations we've put on here. Right. Because mine, I can sort mine into a few different things.
Oh, how actually have you organized yours? I think I organized mine a little bit differently than you did.
Okay, well, mine are like, I just put things I wanted, but now that looking at them, they can be organized into like 3 or 4 categories of really travel to these places.
Okay.
Some are travel to places and do this very specific thing there. And some are just like do this activity or learn this thing.
Yeah, okay, because I organize mine. I have like a top 5 list of things that are probably a little bit more on the vague side than I usually have for a general goal. And those are my top 5 things that, like, if in any way I fulfilled them, and I've numbered them like 1 to 5, like most important to least important. And then I also made an extended list of just other stuff where I have like another 15 things. And there's things like I want to visit this place or learn this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like somewhat similar, but not at all the same.
But yeah, we can go through and do the places first if you want.
Okay, cool. I put 2 places to just travel to, sort of. My first one is very vague. My first one says visit all continents, which should be easy except for Antarctica.
I mean, I guess you can. There's cruises, right? But
there are cruises, but I mean, I just sort of want to go to all continents just for thinking more or less I've been like everywhere in the world. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot to do in Antarctica besides like look at penguins. Look at penguins get eaten by elephant seals. Yeah. Okay, why don't you say your first place you'd like to travel to?
Well, I guess first one that was actually part of my top 5 things to do is a little bit vague, kind of like what you said. It's to live in a non-North American country long term, so at least like 6 months to a year. So not just like visit, like actually like live there, work there for a while, really get the experience.
Well, you've kind of done that.
That's true, but do it again. Being in kindergarten and not
Cool.
remembering the vast majority of it, I don't think that counts.
To be honest, that goal of like living in a non-North American country for like at least 6 months to a year, that I would also quite like to do. I think just, to broaden your horizons, sort of see because I've been to a lot of places that aren't in North America, but it's different going to them for like a week versus actually living there and seeing what it's like to live and not just playing a tourist.
That's what I figure. Yeah, you get a lot more of a sense of the differences and the similarities of the country. And I think I could probably do it pretty easily in Europe because I have the Irish citizenship. So I could live anywhere in the EU. That would work out pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I have to hurry up and get my English one before they leave so I can do that.
Yeah, get in before they close the doors. Who knows? That's supposed to happen soon, but maybe it'll be another decade. I don't know.
Who even knows? Let's not talk about that.
No, that's a whole
That's not what
mess.
this podcast is about.
Maybe another one. No, it won't be.
What do you think of Brexit?
Anyways.
Right. So my second place visit is the Amazon rainforest.
Ooh, interesting. Why is that?
Yeah, because it seems like such a cool place for just all the crazy amount of biodiversity they have inside it. Also, the fact that it's like going away. So just like how I saw the Notre Dame before it burnt down, I want to see the Amazon before it maybe disappears, which is sad but true.
Okay, is it actually like disappearing? I haven't heard much about it.
It's getting cut down, but I mean, it's so massive that I don't know if they would cut the whole thing down.
I have no idea.
Or if they would have just be made to stop beforehand. I don't really want to find out.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so I want to go there because it's such a cool place with like the nature that it has, but also because it's like going away. So I want to make a point of like actually going to see it before it goes away.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. I've already seen a rainforest and I've already seen a coral reef.
Oh,
Coral Reef isn't on it.
Where were those?
But Tobago.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fun story about going to Tobago when we were in the rainforest.
Yep.
Guide, he was a local from the area.
Yep.
And he was just showing us around and a tree that has like a ton of termites on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty small ones. They're like the size of like a little smaller than an ant.
Okay.
And he's like, these are actually really good for you to eat. They keep you young. I'm actually like 85 years old. He was joking, obviously, but everyone's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then he picks one off the tree alive and just eats it.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh. So then me and my mom tried it too.
Okay.
And it did taste like carrots.
Oh. Interesting. All right.
Yeah. It was not bad.
Cool.
I can't tell if he was just messing with us, but it was not bad and I didn't die. So.
Oh, well, that sounds like it's all pretty good then. Interesting experience. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to say about that.
So that is a thing that has occurred in my life.
Nice. All right. So yeah, I guess I did have a bunch more on my list that I guess I'll go through now on the extended list.
Yeah.
So it was firstly to see the northern lights in the snow. So either like Scandinavia or Canada, I think. That'd be like really cool to do.
Gotta go Canada.
Yeah, probably. Though I want to go visit Scandinavia at some point. Any one of them.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Sounds like a cool place. And then to see a solar eclipse. It's another one.
Yeah.
Because also, that seems like something that's worth experiencing.
That would be. Well, when is that?
I don't know, actually. Let me try and look that up.
I'm on it. Yeah, let me look up in Canada. There we go. April 8th, 2024.
Ooh. Whereabouts is it in Canada?
It looks like the path of totality cuts through Toronto.
Ooh. Okay.
Like it's like southeast Toronto.
Southeast. Okay. All right.
But so yeah. Also Fredericton.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have to.
So if you're in Indianapolis, Cleveland, Buffalo, Toronto, Sherbrooke, Fredericton, and St. John's, there you go.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. That's actually pretty soon.
I'll have to come to Toronto for that. That sounds very cool.
Definitely, yeah.
It's 5 years.
All right.
Less than 5 years.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, now we've got that sorted.
Yeah, solar eclipse.
I'm reaching on the 8th of April, 2024. Keep that in mind.
Do it. I'll add it to my calendar after this.
Yeah, like I'm never going to mention it again. I'm just going to
Just show up.
show up on April 8th, 2024.
Cool. All right, sounds good. And then my couple of other ones were to visit the top of Machu Picchu or go along the Inca Trail.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause that sounds...
That's in Peru, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't actually really looked into it, but it sounds cool.
Okay.
And then visit a Buddhist monastery.
I'm doing that in about a week.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're going off to Korea, right?
Korea and Bangkok, Thailand.
Ah, okay. Cool. Where are you going to see the
We're doing it in
monastery?
both countries.
Oh, okay.
We're seeing some in Bangkok, some in Seoul, or some like outside Seoul.
Okay.
Well, they're not in Korea. It's just a temple. It's not a monastery.
Okay.
Did you know outside Perth,
Mm-hmm.
like just outside Perth, literally 1 hour's drive from Bridlewood,
Okay.
there is
This
a
is
Buddhist
in
monastery.
Ontario, Canada, for anyone who's thinking we're talking about like Australia.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Scotland, not Australia or Scotland.
Okay.
This is Perth, Ontario.
Yeah.
Right outside it, there's a Buddhist monastery.
Oh, okay. What do you actually do in a Buddhist monastery? Are they just a bunch of monks meditating?
It's just where monks live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of...
I'm not sure what they do.
Or what do you do when you visit it?
I've never visited.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
So you see what happens when you get there, kind of?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll be able to tell you in a little bit, in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Maybe on the next episode of Standard Humans.
Yeah, I'll talk about going to Asia.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, that would be interesting.
That would be quite interesting.
Yeah. That actually sounds like a pretty good
It
plan.
would be more interesting if I could speak either of the languages.
Probably, yeah. But oh well, English is a pretty good substitute. Yeah.
Okay, and those are, so you've got three travel locations on
And then
your
I
bucket list?
also just threw in going on an African safari and visiting Easter Island on the extended list there.
Easter Island.
Man, I have no idea why or what else you do there other than look at the giant heads, but man, it sounds good.
Those are some cool giant heads.
Exactly, yeah.
Isn't it like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean?
Yep. It's about as far from
Alright,
anything else
cool.
as you can get, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be just purely to do it, to see the heads.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I know that in genetics class, speaking of like isolated islands,
Yeah.
we learned about this island that's the most isolated settled island ever, which was like in the middle of the Atlantic between like South Africa and Chile, like directly in the middle.
Oh, okay.
There were like a couple hundred people who lived there in, I think it was like the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
Just because there was this one really charismatic dude who was like the leader and brought them there. And then once he died, they all just left
Okay.
because,
Why would you be there?
yeah, because like, yeah, why would you be there? I don't understand. Like, why would you want to live on an isolated island on a volcano?
I have no idea.
Starts erupting. What do you do?
Yeah. Why did that one guy want to move there? Do you know?
Nope.
Just for the sake of it? All right, cool.
All I know is that most of the inhabitants had asthma because the original inhabitants had asthma, and so they like genetically passed it down.
Wow. Okay.
So it's something like over 50%.
Okay. Interesting. It's an asthma land. It's just a
Very weird place to be, sounds like.
yeah. It's a country of people who can't run.
Yeah. So that completes your travel list.
Yeah, that's all the travel things I have down at the moment. I think that those kind of sum up a lot of the things and a lot of the places in the world. I think that just about equals your visit every continent list.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just about.
Oh, it was called Tristan da Cunha. Is the asthma island,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Poor Tristan.
Tristan da Cunha. Maybe the man was called Tristan.
Probably.
Who's to say?
I don't know.
Oh no, it was in the 60s. Yeah, it was in the 60s when
Oh, that they went?
yeah, they went.
Oh, okay. I was imagining some like
It's so weird.
ancient like South American tribe just heading out on boats. Like an old
Some guys.
Polynesian dude just leading a bunch of people on their boats.
I think they were Europeans.
Oh, okay. That's
no,
a
it was
lot
settled in
funnier.
the 1800s. It was settled in the 1800s, and they left in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Ah, and they're all Brits.
Oh, interesting.
Because why not? Why would a bunch of asthmatic Brits not go live in the middle of the Atlantic?
Anyways, moving on from there, what other categories do you have on your list?
So I've got travel, which we've covered. I've got an activity
Okay.
to do, and I've got a place that you go to and do a very specific activity.
Oh, okay.
So I'll save that for last because that's probably the most interesting.
Ooh, all right.
The place with the activity.
I am intrigued.
Yeah. So let's talk about just like activities or like things you want to learn.
Okay.
Sort of thing. Like, yeah. So this would be like your fitness, your learning, your random things you want to be able to do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure.
The first one I've got on this list is be fluent in 5 languages.
Ooh, okay. Do you know what those languages are?
Because, well, I know what 3 of them are.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm fluent in English and French, and I'm halfway there in Spanish.
Yeah.
The other 2, I don't know. The other 2 would have to be something that, like, I want to learn something that it doesn't make any sense for me to learn.
Okay.
Like some really specific, like, something
Yeah.
where people would be like, "Oh, why do you know that?" And I'd just be like, "I don't know. I just wanted to learn it." But I was just saying, learning languages, I would like to do a lot of it. I guess I should say at least 5.
Okay.
Because I like the idea of being able to talk to like more people in the world. Because if you can speak in their own language, then it's a lot easier to like just have better communication, I guess, than if it's like a translation.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Just being able to communicate with more people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
So you said the categories like activities, right? Or things to learn.
Like something you want to learn or be able to do.
I suppose these 2 don't count. So I'll go to the one at the bottom of my top 5 list. Number 5 was to learn a martial art of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think that really fulfills the athletic quality that I talked about earlier, be in relatively good health, and it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think that
It is. Have you ever done one?
Yeah, I did like a year of Taekwondo in grade 1, and that's about it.
Ah, okay.
So I'm sure I'll pick it up pretty
Yeah, I
quickly.
mean, it was grade 1, but it's still a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Agreed, it is
unleash
very
my
good.
talent on the world.
Yeah. It is a very good combination of. It is a good combination of like fitness as well as like it's very mental and like cognitive too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. So it would have a really good effect on me physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some are a lot more ritualistic and cognitive than they are physical. Some are a lot more physical than they are like cognitive. And
Do you have any examples of both
that,
of those?
like, I would say, I've done Muay Thai, Taekwondo, and I don't know if you'd count wrestling.
Sure.
If it wasn't like jiu-jitsu or anything, it was
yeah.
just straight up wrestling in high school, for all of high school. But for obviously wrestling, because it was just a sports team,
Yeah.
it was physical and technique based. So even if you weren't like, I would spar with guys who would be like, some of them I would spar with them, they'd be like 3 weight classes below me,
Okay.
but it was still pretty even because they were like, they had a lot more experience and they like knew how to get around it.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was like 3 or 4 years experience, I would spar with this one guy had like at least 50 pounds on me, but it was he didn't know any technique yet.
Oh, okay.
So it was still like relatively easy to like get around.
Okay, yeah.
So that is a good part. It's not just like if you get bigger and stronger, you're just better.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of technique to it.
But that's pretty much for all martial arts. I would say the most physical based one that I've done was Muay Thai,
Okay.
because that's basically just kickboxing,
Okay, yeah.
but you can also throw elbows and knees.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the way we did that was each class was, the first hour was just working out with like, let's say 20 minutes of jump rope, and then the rest being like push-ups and sit-ups and squats and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second half was just like punching bag, and kicking drills on like on the gloves.
Yeah, working with the pads.
That sort of thing. Maybe some sparring.
Mm-hmm.
So all of it was like at least somewhat physically based.
Okay, yeah.
I did a relatively like, I guess you'd say like traditional based taekwondo.
Okay.
Where it was certainly physical because you had to work on a lot of your flexibility and your specific kicks and stuff, but a lot of it was just based in like doing your forms, which is just like if you in karate your katas, you know.
Okay. No, I don't know, but
where it's
sure.
just like pre okay, just like pre-choreographed sequences of like punches and kicks and blocks and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was more just like learning a choreographed dance almost.
Okay.
Than physical training.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say the rank was like most physical that I've done was the Muay Thai. The least physical was just like if you get like into the more traditional stuff.
Okay.
Then it's a lot more about technique and mental focus than it is about and like flexibility and stuff than it is about like building your muscles and building your cardio.
Interesting. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah.
Of course, there's always exceptions.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure you can practice it different ways.
Yeah. Like some taekwondo, if you go to a less traditional place, is like all about the fitness.
Okay.
So it really depends.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, what was your next one?
Yeah, my next activity that I wanted to do was scuba dive.
Ooh. I also have scuba diving.
Because okay. Yeah. Ooh. Very interesting.
Yeah.
The reason for that was because I was thinking I want to do some big crazy thing, like, you know, you're bungee jumping, you're skydiving, but I don't particularly care about those because that's just like doing a big scary thing and then surviving the experience is the whole bit.
Okay.
But with scuba diving, it's like just as dangerous probably, in my opinion, as someone who's never done any of those.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're going underwater and you can get the bends. Oh no. But there's actually like a reason to do it.
Oh yeah?
Other than just for the thrill.
How's that?
Because you get to see all these crazy things underwater, like all these animals and corals and stuff like that. And you're just like in a place where you could never normally go, which is just underwater.
That's true. Yeah.
And I find that really interesting.
Okay, yeah, I kind of see what you mean. I have both that and skydiving actually on my extended list of things.
Oh yeah.
I kind of put them together as something I saw as very similar, but I kind of see what you mean, that you get to see a little bit more.
Because it isn't like in skydiving, you're like skydiving through a flock of rare birds. Because you don't. I mean, you see the same stuff skydiving as you do in a plane. I guess obviously it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's a very different direction.
But the way I see it in scuba diving, there's more actually there.
Yeah, scuba diving might be more comparable to like paragliding or something. Actually flying
probably
around for a bit.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, okay.
I'd agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, because it's more so about the nature and seeing things than just the thrill.
Yeah.
The thrill.
I guess you could compare skydiving to like getting locked in a box at the bottom of a river and then escaping.
I guess so, yeah. That'll be an adrenaline rush, yeah.
That's on my bucket list. Get locked in a box in the bottom of a river and then escape.
Okay, there you go.
So that's all my activities.
Okay.
That I want to do: learn a language and go scuba diving.
Okay. Let's see. I think I have a few other things on here that would count as activities. I want to try and run a marathon at some point, like a full one.
Oh, yeah. You should.
My thought as well.
And I have.
Oh my goodness, a full one? Dude, crazy.
Yes. Fair.
One day, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do it.
Like, I didn't train as much as I should have. Okay. Which, like, I completed it.
Yeah.
I had to walk, obviously, because it's 42 kilometers.
Yeah, it's a little ways. A little
bit of a jaunt.
Yeah.
But I find that probably training more would have just been most helpful in like the following couple days, not being incredibly sore and hungry.
Probably, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, because I wore a Garmin when I did it,
Okay.
and during running that like 42 kilometers, I burnt about 2,100 calories,
How long was it?
which is
How long was the race? Like,
42 kilometers.
no, like time-wise, I mean.
3 hours 45.
Okay.
I did about.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of calories.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do like
Running for almost 4
3,000 in a
hours.
day, so that's a lot in 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, whew. And so I basically doubled my daily calories that day.
Okay.
Like 5,000 calories, 6,000 calories, because I was so hungry afterwards. It was ridiculous. Well, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't that hungry afterwards. I had like a bagel and a banana and a chocolate milk
Yeah.
that I had at the free thing. I'm like,
that's
okay,
always
I'm
the
all right.
best. Yeah.
Then I went home and went to sleep and woke up and I was like,
I shall consume the world.
yeah, I felt like Kirby.
Wow. Yeah, actually, pretty much. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of the things they do. Then
That's a very interesting one. And that one is very achievable, I find.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like just wanting to complete a marathon, if you're relatively fit, you can do it.
Yeah.
You might have to stop and walk.
but you can
You
still
probably
do it.
will have to stop and
Yeah,
walk unless
probably.
you're some kind of a superhuman. But but you can still complete it.
Mhm.
Even if you walked the whole thing, you could still complete it. It would just take a really long time.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I think like sometimes you should probably, when you're making a bucket list, I think it should be a combination of like short and long term things. So you can actually like get some of the stuff done and feel like you're accomplishing something like sooner rather than
Oh,
later.
true. So it's not just all for like when you're retired or something.
Yeah, exactly. Try and get some of the stuff done. Enjoy your life a little bit sooner.
Yeah, exactly. I would say mine are like probably. I know at least 2 of them I could definitely do now, which would be just learn languages
Mm-hmm.
and go scuba diving. I could do that anytime, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that much to like go scuba diving or skydiving, I don't think. I'm not actually sure how much it costs, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
and you have to get like a license first for scuba diving, right?
I think it's just a quick lesson if you're doing it like
Just some basic stuff.
at a semi-legit place in a foreign country.
In a foreign country. There you go. That's the key.
Yeah.
Somewhere with a little bit less more lax training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My father's cousin actually
Yeah.
has a pretty spooky story. It's not actually spooky, it's pretty funny. But
Okay.
of when he was first going out with his, I think it was when he was first going out with his now wife.
Okay.
She, for like, they were going somewhere. And so for a surprise, she bought them a scuba diving experience.
Okay.
But he hadn't told her that up to that point, he'd never told her that he can't swim. So,
Oh, that's amazing.
so
Okay.
I don't think they ended up going, but I think that made for a little bit of an uncomfortable exchange
Probably.
because
Yeah.
I don't know if they were refundable.
Oof. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's very not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, before
No.
the lesson, could you teach me how to swim? Just in general?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not aware of how to do this, but you know, other than that barrier, I'm totally down. Like I'm up for it.
So this water stuff, how does it work?
Yeah. And this not falling to the bottom of the ocean. How do you do that?
No, you're supposed to do that. The key is coming back up again afterwards.
Oh, true. Yeah. So this coming back up. How do you do that?
Yeah. He's already got the falling down, just down pat. That's fine. It's the first. You're already halfway there at that point.
Well, I mean, no, you can successfully scuba dive if you can't swim because you'll just fall to the bottom and breathe, and you're like, okay, but then you're just stuck there. So you can't successfully live after that, but you can successfully scuba dive.
Unless you go down in like one of those cages or something, then you can just
Shark
get back
cage?
in, and they'll like drag you back up.
Yeah, just do a shark cage.
Yeah,
There you
that'd
go.
work. That would work. You don't need to swim for that.
That is absolutely not on my bucket list, by the way.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Going in a shark cage?
Yeah,
I don't understand why anyone would do that.
just to film Shark Week, right? I don't know.
Pretty much.
Do people
yeah,
actually
but it's
do
like
that?
a tourist thing.
Okay.
People do it for fun. And I'm like, why?
I don't.
Let me just simulate getting attacked by sharks for fun.
Yeah, okay. So I can see people getting into that in like VR or something. That'd be interesting. Like a shark cage simulator.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But like actually doing it?
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would actually be very cool.
No, thank you.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, we're going through activities. What else do I have here that's an activity? Ooh, yeah. One of mine on the extended list too was speak in front of at least 1,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. Get some real good public speaking going.
Where would you find this 1,000 people?
I have no idea. This isn't thought out farther than that, but just to have something.
TEDx talk.
Ooh, yeah, actually.
Just do a TEDx talk on why you shouldn't go or why you shouldn't go in a shark tank ever.
That would work. I'm sure 1,000 people would be there to listen to that.
So this is why. No, do an onion talk.
Is that a thing? No, I haven't. I've never heard of that.
Oh, they're so funny. They're just the Onion spoofing TED Talks.
Yeah.
And it's like, so,
yeah,
here to talk about this big rock I found.
Okay.
Isn't that the biggest rock you've ever seen? I thought so too, until I found this bigger rock. I want to be the person who finds the world's biggest rock.
That sounds incredible. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that later.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the Onion spoof Vice too?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so funny. There's this one, it's like, in this peaceful Peruvian town, what if spontaneous war just broke out for absolutely no reason?
Okay.
And it's just this guy going around like, what would you do if gunmen broke into your home right now and murdered your children? By the way, there's no risk of this. There's no reason that this would ever happen, but what would you do? Are you prepared?
Okay.
And it's like, look at this quiet town. Can't you just imagine how terrible it would be if just it broke into riots and gunfights? There's no reason this would happen, but just purely speculation. But just imagine.
That's fantastic. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'll give a speech about that. Yeah. What else? What were the other categories you said? Is this the last one?
Well, my last one I'm on now is go to a place and do a very specific thing there.
Oh boy, what's the place? What's the thing? Tell us.
Ooh, there's two actually.
Oh, what? No way. Bonus place. Bonus activity.
Bonus place and bonus thing in that bonus place.
Give me that bonus thing.
Well, the first one, it would be at the island of Shikoku in Japan. I think there's 88 Buddhist temples.
Ah, yeah, the Buddhist walk. The Buddhist trip.
Yeah, on this island. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you can sign up to be a pilgrim because it's a whole pilgrimage thing. And what you do is you start out at this one on the far east side, and you can take a bus if you're like old or disabled or something, but a lot of people walk.
Okay.
Directly from each one, like from one to the next, and get like the agency like gives you where you're staying and stuff, and you just sort of buy food along the way.
Okay.
But yeah, you literally walk around the entire perimeter of the island, and so you walk to all of the 88 temples and see them. Oh, and you ring the bell at them. I think that's the thing you do.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that back in high school, and that still sounds really cool.
Yeah. I discovered it because I read a book where a journalist just did the pilgrimage. Mm-hmm. And even then, like, it wasn't even like I was just doing this pilgrimage and then it went wrong and this crazy thing happened. It was literally just like, hey, I just did the pilgrimage. And it was still very, very interesting.
Okay.
So there's also one like it that I guess would go on my bucket list that's in Spain.
Okay.
I forget what you call it, but it's basically the same sort of deal, but with Catholic churches.
Ooh, interesting.
Literally just like, there's something Camino Day, which is just like the path of, but so I guess that would also go on it. But just that sort of pilgrimage thing seems like a very cool time.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to do.
The idea of walking like a super far distance on like just your own 2 feet, I feel like you'd feel very fulfilled.
Yeah, I think so. And going around, especially like it takes like a month or two, right? So just to take that time off to just go walk around this like beautiful island and see all these temples. Probably like meditate a bit. I think that's what monks do.
Mhm.
Right? So
Yeah. I think it takes like 3 weeks
3
or
weeks,
something
okay.
usually.
yeah, that'd be a really cool experience. Do you know how much it is?
Yeah. Well, I'll do some sleuthing.
Okay.
Here's a website that is entirely dedicated to doing this pilgrimage and how much it costs. So, hotels and luxury ryokans are at the top, and it can easily cost $100 a night. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm going freaking cheap. Oh, okay. Zenkonyado are free or very cheap accommodations specifically for pilgrims. These may be run by an individual or a community. $0 to $10 per night conversion from yen,
Okay.
obviously. It would cost, a round trip would cost between $1,000 to $2,000.
Mhm.
It looks like each meal would be between like $10 to $30. And then a temple visit costs about, okay, each temple visit is around $3. But there's 88 of them. So that would cost about $264.
$1,200. And I did the math for the food at like $15 a meal times 3 times 21 days. That's $945, so about $1,000.
Okay.
Plus $1,200 for flight, plus $260 for the staying places or seeing the monasteries. So it's at least $2,500
In the
you're
monasteries.
looking at.
Okay.
Probably more like 3,000.
Round up to
Yeah,
3,000
yeah,
probably.
just to be safe.
That's
That is
not
a pretty reasonable 3
the
weeks.
most insane
Yeah.
thing I've ever heard. Yeah, true. Especially for 3
Yeah,
weeks
seriously.
living.
That's not bad.
I'll keep that
Yeah,
in
good
mind.
to know.
So what sort of, do you have any sort of things like that on your list?
It's kind of what I had when I said go see the northern lights in the snow. I was kind of go to a place and do a thing.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Go to northern Canada or Scandinavia and see the northern
And I think
lights.
that just as a general rule, that's slightly more interesting than just saying a place is to pick a thing to do in the place and then go do it. You can like imagine yourself there a little bit better. So it's
Yeah.
probably a good thing to do. But I don't really have anything else so much.
Interesting. I only have one other one that was like that. This is my last activity I've got. This is my 6th one.
Yeah.
It's called, I think I've told you about it before as well. It's called the Rickshaw Run.
Oh, that rings a bell. Yeah, I think you have a couple times, but I don't remember. What is it again?
It's basically you just sign up. I can't find. Okay, it looks like it doesn't cost money to sign up. Yeah, it doesn't cost any money to sign up. But basically, what you do is you just sign up for the rickshaw run, and you get a 145cc 3-wheeled rickshaw, and you drive from one corner of India to another. And I believe what you do is you have to take pictures at specific places. They give you like a list of places to stop at along the way.
Right.
And so a bunch of people are doing it at the same time as you. It's like a whole group thing. But you're not traveling with them necessarily, but it's just like you all have a launch at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be very cool.
It's very cool. And on the website here, it says it costs $0 to get the rickshaw, £0 to sign up and everything.
Okay.
But you have to get insurance. You have to get to India.
Yeah.
Fuel should cost about £250 apparently. Food should cost between £50 to £500.
Okay.
Sleeping should cost about £50 to £3,000. That's quite a large window. Visas should cost about £100, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and you have to give a vehicle deposit of £1,000, which you get back.
Okay, fair enough.
Once you return your vehicle. It's in 2019. It actually started. The launch is tomorrow.
Well, I think you can get there by then.
Yeah. So they give a schedule here. It's the 10th of August. You do some test driving. Apparently in the evening there's a party. Very interesting. The 11th of August, you do some more test driving if you need it. The mechanics look over your vehicle and stuff. And then in the evening there is a sports match with locals.
Interesting.
All right. There's also a briefing about where you're going. And it says, so you have no doubt about the ridiculousness you're about to undertake.
Good to know. That's good. Yeah. Make sure.
Nice. And then the 12th of August is the launch. and the 25th of August is the finish. So it takes almost exactly 2 weeks. You drive from Fort Kochi in Kerala to Jaisalmer in Rajasthan.
Sure.
Yeah, so that seems like a very cool thing to do.
That's a pretty good list of things. Got a bunch of activities and a bunch of places.
Apparently the rickshaws are 7 horsepower. I really like how they describe it as cc's, so it sounds like Mario Kart. 145 cc, wow. That's almost 150 cc.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in Mario Kart, that's pretty fast. 150 cc is the top, so holy. I'm reading the bottom of the website, and it says Part 10, the warning.
Okay, all
Let
right.
me just read this to you, and you can see how spooky it is. These are genuinely dangerous things to do. The website is written in a lighthearted fashion, but you cannot overestimate the risks involved in taking part in this adventure. Your chances of being seriously injured or dying as a result of taking part are high. Individuals who have taken part in past Adventurists, Adventurists is the company, have been permanently seriously disabled or even lost their life. This is not a glorified holiday. It's an unsupported adventure, and so by its very nature, extremely risky. You really are on your own, and you really are putting both your health and life at risk. This is what makes them adventures.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be adding that one to my list anytime soon, but you go ahead.
That's the first time I've come across that. That makes me quite seriously second guess. The fact that they said the chances of you getting seriously injured or dying are high.
Wow.
They make it sound like at least half the people who go from the launch don't finish.
You either win or you
just
die
get murdered
trying.
along the way.
That's how it works in the rickshaw race.
Yeah, it's like Mad Max.
It's basically Mad Max, yeah.
I'm just looking at how dangerous is... The first one that comes up is how dangerous is Toronto.
Super dangerous.
Not that dangerous, but that's funny. Okay, here's one from the website called adventureinU.com that says 5 reasons why the rickshaw run in India is crazy. And it says, we all need one chance in our life to do something absolutely outrageous, completely brainless, and ill-advised. Here's our top 5 reasons why the rickshaw run will be the most absurd adventure we've ever encountered. It's a piece of junk.
Okay.
Rickshaws break down. Okay, so you're just out in the middle of sweltering heat in the middle of nowhere, and your rickshaw breaks and sounds very dangerous. It's full of bad roads, so that there are tracks to bustling 5-lane highways full of erratic drivers. They are not safe at all. In fact, India has the highest death rate from road accidents, and it is believed that someone in India dies in a road accident every 4 seconds. The 4th one just says bandits.
Okay.
Some parts of the country we will have to drive through are known areas of bandit activity. Well, there have never been any incidents on the rickshaw run. A team in last year's race did need a police escort to get through one particular town. While most of India is pretty safe, there are still some towns that we generally recommend to avoid.
Okay, then.
How do they get a police escort if there weren't any incidents with bandits? What? That's confusing. While there have never been any incidents on the rickshaw run, a team in last year's race did need a police escort to get through one particular town.
I assume there was just some bandit activity going on already around there, and they didn't want to drive through by themselves. But, it's never happened to someone before in the race.
Yeah. The last one just says rain and lots of it. Oh, we are doing this rickshaw run in monsoon season. The worst time of year we could possibly do this. But from what I understand, this website is affiliated with the rickshaw run, and you can sign up here. Okay, and then at the bottom it says, so why the hell are we doing this? Why would we risk our life and limb to spend 2 weeks driving every day in an extremely uncomfortable, unreliable vehicle? Well, like I say, we all need that one opportunity in life to push things just that little bit further. To step so far away from our comfort zone that we forget what the comfort zone even looked like. Sure.
Yeah, no thank you.
But like bandits. It's a little spooky.
Old Western, ride up on a horse and steal your stuff.
Yeah, Old West bandits. That actually didn't intimidate me as much as the actual signing up a website, where it's just chance of getting seriously injured or killed is high.
It'd be nice if it said how many people die.
Okay, has anyone died on the rickshaw run? Apparently, at the beginning, they say, statistically speaking, one of you is going to end up in the hospital.
Okay.
Okay, so 1 person per rickshaw run in the hospital isn't insane. I mean, they are in just a very hot place, so you may just get heat stroke. Oh, the person who's the subject of this article, who's written it, he was the one who ended up going to the hospital. He was the one person on the rickshaw run, but it doesn't sound very dangerous at all. What happened was it was just like a badly built hotel bathroom with a glass shower door. And so the shower door was just too close to the cement wall. So he swung it open and it shattered and just got glass on him.
No.
Like, ow. But also,
Yeah, I guess
that could happen anywhere. Like, it sounds pretty terrible, but they have glass doors and
usually.
cement walls everywhere. So
It just depends on the quality of place where you're staying.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not as bad
Slightly reassuring,
as
I
it
guess.
sounded before.
Still
Yeah,
maybe not
maybe
going to do it, though. That's just so spooky. The chance of dying is high. What?
Yeah, they really make it seem like someone's dying like once a day.
Yeah, they're dropping like flies out here. He probably won't. The reason you do it with 2 people per rickshaw is because one of them usually dies.
Still got to finish.
And we need our rickshaws back.
And as you can see, the tourists cannot take the heat.
Wow.
Only half of these rickshaws will come back with people.
The larger one dies. You don't have anything that insane on your bucket list?
I don't think so. No, not really.
You should look around for something like that.
Go climb like Mount Everest or something.
Yes. High chance of death or serious injury. Oh, yeah. People who climb Mount Everest now, I'm like, why?
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I actually don't understand. Because, like, it's become so, like, incredibly commercialized. But also, so many people die. It's not even that rare of an experience anymore. Because so many people have done it. But also, it's still just as dangerous. Apparently, the place is just littered with bodies because they don't rot away because it's frozen.
Yeah, and have you seen all the pictures and videos of people having to wait in line to go up to the top? That's insane.
Yeah,
and, like, people
that's so
like
weird.
Pushing and shoving to try and get to the top.
I think anybody just died waiting to get... The reason they're waiting in line was because they're all taking selfies and pictures up there.
But then there's also lines on the way down as well. Because if you get an inexperienced climber who takes a really long time, it holds everyone up because there's only, the 2 ways down, right? Yeah.
Oh, there's still like avalanches and stuff, so I'm like, it doesn't sound like it's for me, really.
That's a bit too out there.
I don't know. It seems so silly nowadays. I don't know. Not knocking anybody who wants to do it just for the love of mountain climbing. That's very cool. But anybody who does it just because, like, oh man, I want to get a picture at the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Why?
Yeah, and people like who actually love the mountaineering and are good at it, go for it, man. That's sick.
Yeah, good on them. Just like to test on like the best mountain ever.
Or well, it's not even the best mountain ever. It's just the tallest. Like supposedly, it's not. You don't really need any technical like mountaineering skills or knowledge to get up there. If you're physically fit enough and go up the Nepal side, it's pretty much you can just walk up there.
Huh.
Yeah, like it's a little difficult at some parts, and you have to like climb across a bridge or a ladder or whatever. But it's
I've seen videos of that.
Yeah, but it's by no means the hardest climb in the world.
Yeah, it's just a ladder spread across like a giant chasm.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's terrifying. Have you seen the video of the Sherpas putting the ladder there too? Because they have to do that every year. So
every year,
yeah. So basically, they get like 3 ladders. And they tie them together with a rope, right? And then they just have to kind of let it drop down from one side and get to the other. And then with it lying there, completely unsecured, one of them has to climb over this ladder that's just kind of hopefully not going to slide off the snow, and then get to the other side and like attach a proper bridge. And like they die regularly doing that.
Yeah, apparently on May 9th, 2 Sherpa climbers just fell into the crevasse.
Oh no, those poor Sherpas, man.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, like that's also why it's not impressive, because it's literally people's jobs to take other less experienced people up to the top.
Yeah,
which
like
seems like
I think they climb it around 30 or 40 times this season.
It's incredibly dangerous, sure, but like I find it much more impressive those people than people who just have a lot of money and are like, hey, I'm just going to hire somebody to take me to the top of Mount Everest just because I want to go.
Oh, yeah, no. The Sherpas are significantly more impressive than anyone else.
Falling into crevasses and stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy. But yeah, I'm looking at that ladder. It's on like snow too.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
It's not like it's on like rocks. It's on like opposite sides of a crevasse where it's snow.
Yeah, it's just snow.
Yikes.
Holding it in place, yeah.
Huh. Is it possible to like take a helicopter to the top of Mount Everest and just like get off, or would you just instantly get altitude sickness and get really sick?
I'm not sure because they can't. There is a helicopter that can go up there. I know.
But is it like pressurized and you can't get out?
I don't actually know off the top of my head. Yeah, because you do have to get acclimatized, right? I'm not sure if they just store it far enough up that you're like already acclimatized enough that it won't like bother you too much. That'd be my guess.
Oh, true. Oh, it's coming from like already like a very tall city.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I'm watching that video right now
Yeah.
of people walking across the ladders, and that is crazy. It's literally just 3 ladders tied together.
And I love the commentary on the video that I saw was like, yeah, this guy, he's doing it and he knows that it's very dangerous because last year the guy whose job he took died doing this exact thing.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Wow.
that'd be dangerous.
Yeah, that's how the jobs get turned over in the Sherpa industry.
True, you just die.
Yeah.
And then every so often you live long enough to retire, but like, you either die a Sherpa or live long enough to retire.
I mean, that's kind of true for every job.
Or you can just have a different job. Oh, and apparently Sherpa is an ethnic group. So yeah, count me out.
Yeah.
I do love mountain climbing though. I would like to climb like Kilimanjaro and stuff in my life.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like it would be cool to do that, but at the same time that sort of thing sounds so bougie, and it would be like very weird to go to like relatively impoverished nations just with all your money just to do some random shit like climb a big mountain. I've always felt weird about that kind of stuff. Like it would be so cool to do, but I'm like that seems like you're like pretty odd. You're just this foreigner coming in and just like climbing a big mountain.
Throwback to colonial times. Whoop whoop.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like such a weird thing to do.
Not entirely, because people come to, Canada or America or whatnot all the time just to see shit like the CN Tower or like go see New York, Grand Canyon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know. That's like part of the culture. It isn't just like, I guess it's not really. It is just stuff like seeing the Grand Canyon and stuff.
I would assume they'd look at it the same way. It's like, oh, there's a local attraction. At least they're like spending money on hotels or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably, maybe.
It just seems like a very weird thing. I've probably gonna do it because I want to go so many places.
Yeah.
Like do that exact sort of thing, but it's still odd.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does feel a little weird.
And so that concludes both of our lists then?
No, actually, I only got through like the bottom 2 of my 5.
Oh, really? Okay, so you'll have to go over those, and I'll just offer my little memes.
Yeah, exactly. You can offer some commentary. What do you think of all my stuff? All right, so it's been a little while since I spoke about how I structured my list, so I'll just go over it real quick. It was the top 5 things that I thought would satisfy the qualities that I talked about earlier, being relatively relaxed or creatively fulfilled and athletic. Yeah. So I already talked about the 4th one, which was live in the non-North American country long term. And the 5th one was learn a martial art.
Was running a marathon not one?
No, that was kind of like I could have put that in there instead of the martial art, but the marathon was on just the extended list. Yeah, either of those would be good though. Or both, really. Honestly, that would be preferable, but I think I decided to go with the martial art just because, like we talked about, it has that mental quality to it.
I mean, marathon definitely does too, because you've got to just like stick at it until you're done, I guess.
That's very true.
It's less of a learning.
Yeah, that's actually fair. Thing. Running long distance is less about the physical nature than it is about just being too like stubborn to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's very true. You need a lot of discipline. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so those are the bottom 2. And then I guess I'll go up to the top. My top one, the thing that I'd say that my life probably wouldn't feel like fulfilled or completed without would probably be like a good relationship with Jess. That'd be like if you heard like the light bulbs energy kind of idea before.
No, I haven't.
So the idea is basically if you have so much energy, say like for ease of math, like 100 amps or something, and you have 4 different areas of your life that you need to keep powered up, I think it's usually like health or your fitness, work life, social life, and family. And you have to distribute the amount of energy and like the amount of time that you're going to commit to each across them. If you commit more to one, you have to commit less to another, kind of thing. So if you spend a lot of time on your work, you can't really spend as much time looking at your health or something like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So if I think about that a lot, it's like, all right, I want to do a lot of things. Like my next two are very work or kind of business related. And even if I want to really put a lot of time or a lot of energy into that, I don't really want to sacrifice like my relationship, you know? That's like one thing that's like, no, can't compromise that. So that was my top thing. And then the second one was to be able to pursue my own business full time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that is something that's really important to me.
Like work for yourself and be very successful sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's the idea. To not have to like work for someone else, but to be able to like call my own shots, you know, say I'm going to work at these times, and to be able to make my own priorities. Like say this is something that's important and I want to work on this, you know, that kind of thing. To have a little bit more control over my schedule.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, and I think that would really fulfills the creatively fulfilled or engaged in life, because doing stuff like this, it's really, I don't know, fulfilling, or like it's something I like thinking about a lot, you know? That would be a good one.
That's very creative.
Extraordinarily creative. I am an artist creating my masterpiece right now.
This is my masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Man, I'm a little tired. I don't know what that was.
Name that Tarantino movie I just quoted. This just might be my masterpiece.
Oh, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, at the very end.
I watched that a little while ago. Finally.
So good.
Yeah, it was a solid movie. I'd never realized it. I need to watch more of his stuff. I don't think I have.
Oh, I need to watch the new one coming out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. I think my mom watched that. She said it was weird. So I figure it's probably about pirates.
Sounds about right. Yeah, sounds like a Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty weird.
That's what I said too. So yeah, that's my second one, was pursuing a business. And then the third one is actually a financial kind of one. It's to save up $1 million with no debts.
Oh wow. I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you save up $1 million, but you have $2 million in debts, then it's like, well.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just have that like net worth of basically $1 million, because then at that point I think I can kind of relax quite a bit about finances. Like you're pretty good.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to like do a job that you don't like at all anymore if you ever have to do that.
If you're living somewhat modestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a relatively modest lifestyle. Like if you follow the 4% rule, which is that something that's really popular in like the financial independence retire early community, where you say assuming like a 4% growth and like taking out 4% a year, if you have $1 million you can take out like 40 grand a year, and if you have no debts, that's a pretty solid amount of money. So at that point you can really focus on doing whatever you want. So I figure like if I get like that done, then most of the other things, especially on like the extended list, like traveling to a lot of the places, I can really focus on that, trying to like really live, I don't know, better, more fulfilled life.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's really cool.
That's my list. Those are my things.
Those are pretty decent, I must say. Yeah. I found it interesting how you said like the 4 parts are like work, health, social, and family. Right?
Yeah.
I would in my head probably list social and family together. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but because it's sort of like the same sort of activity, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
To like,
in some ways, yeah, but it's also very, I find them very separate categories. Like keeping up like relationships with family doesn't require the same either amount or type of work necessarily as friendships.
How so?
I guess I was thinking more about like extended family, how you see them like once a year, but with closer family you do want to see them pretty often, like with friends, or you can just not.
Well, because with extended family, like it can be like awkward if you don't see them in a while.
Yeah, I guess it is very similar.
Or like, yeah, like some of my friends I don't see for like a little bit, especially because I like live in a different city.
Yeah.
But like it's still pretty chill when we meet up. Some of them even different country, but like it's still pretty chill when we meet up.
But yeah, it's an interesting point. I guess you could probably make the case, like categorize them both as what, like relationships or something.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like the three-legged stool.
Yeah. Oh man, another three-legged stool.
Yeah. Wow. It's a very good analogy for a lot of stuff.
It is. Yeah. You usually need at least three things.
Can confirm. I need at least three things.
You need it. Life is at least three things complicated.
Oxygen, water, which is part oxygen, but ignore that, and like sustenance.
Yeah. That's most of it. I mean, you can make the argument for like shelter, so that you don't die of the elements.
You can't just be like in space.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Are you assigning, or are we assigning work to think about for next week then?
I don't know. We actually have to decide on what the next one's going to be.
Okay, everyone. For the next week, you must breathe oxygen, drink water, and have sustenance. If
you don't do it, we're going to know, because you're going to turn up in the obituary.
Yeah. Noted.
You can't get that one past us.
Yeah. Talk about my travels.
Yeah, actually. Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember what we said earlier that would be good to talk about. But yeah, that would be excellent to talk about.
All right. So everyone, your homework is get to Bangkok on the 17th of August and get to South Korea on the 24th of August and find me.
Okay. Sounds good.
You don't know what I look like, but find me.
Just listen for the voice of a Cooper.